We will talk about the NFL schedule, which is out for the upcoming season. Rob G., you're the biggest football fan on the show, right? You're a Raiders fan.
That's right.
How big is this for you and the schedule day? Because I think it's taking on a life of its own. I'm still trying to come to grips with it.
Oh, I think it's exciting. I definitely don't think it's, 3 hours worth of a television show exciting, but it's something to look forward to because everybody is optimistic this time of year. You haven't seen how bad your team is.
Though. You know who you're playing. Do you know what I mean?
But you also want to see, when you're playing your division rivals, when you're getting them, that kind of stuff. And especially this season with the AFC West being so loaded, you want to know when you're getting some of these teams. Like one of the first things I saw, which we knew already earlier in the day, was that the Raiders were going to be getting the Chargers in week 1. And ordinarily, I'd be like, yeah, easy. We'll knock that one out. 1-0, start the season. However, we're going to have a brand new offensive line, and the Chargers got Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack, both guys who are usually injury prone, but I don't think they're going to be injured in week 1. So I'm not as excited about week 1 as I normally would be.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I love football. You know my story. I wouldn't even work when I was in high school on Sundays, but the schedule, I get it. You want to see, but I just feel like, okay, like people make predictions, Chris. You know this too. Like they're gonna go down the list and tell you how many games people will win based on the schedule. We don't know if anybody's hurt. We don't know if any. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, to me, silly to do that without knowing. Football, there's always something going on. Injuries now. We have COVID. We don't even know who's playing for sure. I think it's hard to do that. I want to see the schedule. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know if it's a holiday or Christmas.
Yeah, look, I wouldn't say silly to make the predictions, but things are going to happen. There's no doubt about it. As you said, injuries are just a part of football.
Right.
Who would have thought that Lamar Jackson was going to be injured last year?
There's a perfect example that they're not going to the playoffs. The Ravens wouldn't make the playoffs.
Right. And even now with the Browns, how you going to accurately predict the Browns when we don't yet know about Deshaun Watson?
That's what I mean. Are you picking them to win 10 games and he might miss 6 or 8? Like that's what I mean. Like, it's hard to totally do that. And I get it. You want to get a gauge, but half the schedule because of your rivals you're going to play. But Chris, so we do have, what do we have?
Let me give you
games. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me give you this, Rob. 12 teams have the maximum of 5 primetime games. I'm going to name them for you, and you tell me which one you don't think deserves it. Bills, Cowboys, Packers, Chiefs, Rams, Broncos, Buccaneers, Chargers, Bengals, Patriots, Eagles, Niners.
I definitely Patriots and Eagles, and I would even opt for the Niners if I had to pick a third team. Patriots and Eagles, no, I don't see them in that light. Cowboys aren't that good. They didn't make the playoffs, right? Oh, they did make the playoffs. But the Cowboys,
they're quote unquote America's team,
right? But the Cowboys is because of that. You know what I mean? That they're always going to get the max. The Bills are exciting. You're always going to put the Packers on from the NFC. Rams won the Super Bowl. We got the Chiefs. We understand the Broncos now with Russell Wilson. Right. So I get that. Would you agree with that? Patriots and Eagles?
I actually would. If I had to pick 2, it'd definitely be the Patriots and the Eagles.
How about 3? If you had to add that third one, who would it be?
The third would be the Niners. Yeah. It would
out
be
of this
the
group, I think it is the Niners.
It would be the Niners, but
even though they went to the NFC Championship game, I'm
excited about the Niners. Now I got to get Debo in the right frame of mind, right? I want him, happy and excited to be there and ready to go ahead and do what's got to be done. The quarterback situation is interesting. Trey Lance. They moved heaven and earth to get Trey Lance. But it sounds like they're not totally sure he's ready, right? And Jimmy G, if he ends up being the starter, that's not the worst thing in the world, right? Look, he's not Aaron Rodgers, but he can win you games.
Chris, they were a quarter away from getting to the Super Bowl.
For the second time.
Right.
With him.
They were leading going into the final quarter.
Absolutely. So don't tell me and if it's Trey Lance at the start of the season, which I assume it will be, I want to see him, right? I want to see what he can do. I think, Rob, I would just say there's two I look at that don't belong. And that's Philadelphia and New England. And I would say New England, they're only there for one reason, Rob. Belichick. That's it.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
It's out of
What
respect.
else?
But I agree. I don't think they don't belong. And the Eagles just haven't moved along enough for me to feel like they should be in that. I know they made the playoffs,
had a nice
Chris.
draft.
Yes.
They added A.J. Brown. They got Devontae Smith to go with him. Like, they got a nice little running back. The bottom line is, Rob, we talked about it yesterday. What's Jalen Hurts?
We don't know. Do you know?
No, but if he can't be something with this group, then they're gonna be looking to replace him.
Yeah, no, he's got the weapons. You can't say he doesn't have people to throw to. Now, the Lions are the only team who don't have a primetime game. Rob G, when you wrote that, are you not counting Thanksgiving because it's a afternoon game?
Well, the way the NFL defines primetime is you're the Thursday night standalone, Monday night, or Sunday night.
Okay, yeah, because primetime is 8 to 11 o'clock. When you talk about primetime TV, right? It's between 8 and 11. That's called primetime.
Rob, I don't know where you're at on this. I'm ready to get the Lions off Thanksgiving.
You've been wanting to do that for years since we've been doing this show.
Oh, my gosh. Since I was a kid. I'm excited. I want to watch the games, and I got the Lions, the Bears. And now, at least the Bears had Walter Payton for much of that time.
The Lions
but they
had
weren't
Barry
very
Sanders.
good. Well, I'm talking about before that.
Oh.
I'm talking about before. Like, the Lions been on forever. And I get it. It's a tradition. But they're horrible. Year in, year out.
Didn't you hear TJ Houshmandzadeh? He said that they won't finish in last place in the NFC
think about
North.
that. That's an optimistic prediction. They're going to be third in the division.
Right.
A 4-team division, right? Come on. Nah, I mean, I'm done with them. Now, look, Rob, I kind of like Dan Campbell. I know he mocked the kneecap quotes and all that madness. I like him. Yeah. I do. Okay. And they had a nice little offseason, too. I'm not predicting greatness. I'm just saying a nice little offseason.
Can you believe they've never won the NFC North? Ever. Like, since they turned it into the NFC North. You can't?
That's the sad thing, yeah.
I can't believe it. Rob G, you got another question?
Let's bring on Rob G, because Rob G likes to get on here and him and Hall and stick out his chest. And every time Rob is off or I'm off and Rob G's filling in, he wants to talk Raiders. Raiders this, Raiders that, Derek Carr. Ooh.
In Vegas, they have radio stations. Their sports talk radio stations are called like Raiders Nation.
RNR Radio.
There is no Raider Nation.
It's Raider Nation Radio.
If there was a Raider Nation, then why in the world are they the only team in the AFC West that's not on the 5 primetime games?
Uh-oh.
Explain me that, Rob G.
Because there's some haters up in the NFL scheduling offices, let me tell you.
New York, right?
Yes, they just don't want to see the Raiders shine.
Who they better than? Who they better than?
Of those, in the division or of the primetime games?
No, in the division.
Are they finishing in last place in the division?
No way.
We want to know.
No way. No.
Who are they better than?
They're better than the Chargers.
Wow. Really?
Yes. Did you forget who their coach is?
You must be counting. I was going to say, you must be counting
a week and a half of content on
going for
daily.
fourth down 98% of the time.
Rob G, I said he should have been fired. You remember that?
Yeah.
I'm with you. He cost them the playoffs last year. If he does that this year and they don't make the playoffs because of some bonehead calls, I'm telling you, Staley, I didn't like it.
I'm not convinced he's going to continue with
He can't do that.
He will here and there, but come on, he's got to dial it back a little bit.
Well, guys, speaking of the primetime games, right? You mentioned the teams who have 5, and obviously the Eagles, the Patriots, and the Niners kind of stand out just because either the quarterback situation or in the Patriots case, I don't know what you're tuning in to watch with the Patriots.
Right.
The teams that have the fewest, you mentioned the Lions with 0, Jets, Giants, Jags, Texans, Panthers, Falcons, not too surprised they only got 1. The team.
Jags are interesting. I mean, I would think with Trevor Lawrence. That
Okay,
they
but
might, you know what I mean?
here's this is the one that really
More than one.
really stands out to me. Let me get your thoughts on it. The teams with 2, Vikings, Seahawks, Dolphins, Commanders. Here's the big shocker: Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns. Now, the fact that they
Well-
only got 2, do you think that's them telling you this guy's
Absolutely.
getting suspended?
Absolutely.
Yes, they
There's no
already
doubt
know, and
if
they're
it-
not setting this up to
Right.
even be there. And if you look at the schedule, Rob G, when he plays Houston, it's week 13. So you think that's by accident? Like that could be a big game as far as ratings, right? Him going back to Houston.
Right. I think there's another factor too. I
What?
do think that they're just his whole situation. Like that they didn't want to put him on the maximum. Now again, he's going to be suspended, so I might be wrong, but I just wonder if that was a factor, Rob. You know, if they want to soft pedal that, not highlight him yet, give him a year, let it. I don't want to say die down, but once he
Marinate.
starts playing, people will get used to him being back, and the story will eventually fade into the background. So I think next year, if he comes back and they play well with him, I think next year you would expect to see them on 5 primetime games.
I think it sends a big message. Just like, what was it, before 2 seasons ago when the schedule came out, we saw the Packers still had 5 primetime games. Well, you know that Aaron Rodgers is not getting traded then because they're not going to put Jordan
Right,
Love on
right.
5 times.
We knew that. Yeah, that was a signal there. Like they knew something because that would have been a disaster. The Packers with 5 games, you know what I mean, and a rookie basically a rookie starting
doubt.
quarterback. Right.
No doubt. Let me ask you this. I'll read off the revenge games and then ask you, Rob, which one you're most excited about. All right, we got looks like 6 of them. Russell Wilson back to Seattle. Von Miller back with the Rams.
I think
Carson Wentz back in Indianapolis. That'll be Deshaun Watson back in Houston. A.J. Brown back against Tennessee. And Josh McDaniels back with the Patriots. To me, it's simple. It's Russell Wilson.
I mean, it's the first one. First of all, Von Miller, that's a no.
Right,
Carson
that's-
Wentz
exactly.
played 1 year in Indianapolis. Come on,
Right.
that's no.
Right.
A.J. Brown faces the top. Really? No.
He's a receiver. It's not a
And
receiver.
and Josh McDaniels, the coach, with the Patriots, he's already left the Patriots before and went
Right.
to Denver and coached. So that's a no. It's really Russell Wilson, Rob
right.
G, right?
That's really the only big revenge game.
Yeah,
to
and
be
do you
honest.
guys think that they kind of did him a disservice by doing it in week 1? Because he's going to have a whole new offense around him.
Yep.
He's not going to be very comfortable. They're
Yep.
probably going to win anyways, but I don't think it's going to be
I
his
agree.
best
Yeah.
performance.
I
No,
agree with
I
everything
agree.
you just said. Yep.
Yeah, probably
It
should have
would've
been like
much better
mid-season.
midway. Yep. Absolutely. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting, and we're looking forward to the season.